I'm alive, and I might be back. I have a little bit of an update for you guys, and I have a little project that is a spoiler for my next video that is like 90% of the way finished. So guess what that video is going to be as I work to paint a little design on this dirty doormat with tape that doesn't actually stick to it. And so it's probably going to go really badly, but this was cheap from IKEA and it's old. And so I guess if I ruin it, whatever. I guess before I jump in, let's do a little level set. So I'm walking, but kind of, which means that videos are happening, but kind of. And hopefully the wind, there's a little breeze. Hopefully it's not too bad and it doesn't mess up the audio, but my microphone is dead. I didn't think to charge it because I haven't done this in forever, so I'm out of practice. I think you're supposed to water acrylic down if you're gonna do that, so I brought a little jar of water here and we're gonna water him down a little bit. So fingers crossed I'm not ruining everything. I think we're going for more of a stain than like if you were writing something or painting like words, you would want it to be pretty opaque, but this is like a very large patch, and so I'm hoping for more of like a stain effect, and I already have paint everywhere. I was trying so hard to figure out a place to do this project, and the only place I could think of is on top of my washing machine. So if you're wondering where I am, that's where I am. Okay, I think I should start with the tape lines and like get that kind of straight so that I can stop worrying about them. If I get them done, then I can like just kind of mindlessly do the rest of it. Oh, that's not watery enough. Oh, I'm ruining this. I can feel it already. I am ruining this. This is a strong start back to YouTube. This is good. This is really good. Yup. So if you haven't watched the last, well, I think I've made 2 specific knee videos. You definitely should go watch those. I'll do a little bit of a recap here, but I think it's really helpful still to see those videos because like it's like a journey, and there are things I know now that I didn't know then. And so like, you know, I don't know, you'll just get the whole experience as opposed to like the recap now, which is like trimmed down and only like relevant things. Basically, the short version of the story is I had knee surgery last August, and I've had nothing but problems since, despite the fact that this knee surgery was supposed to be super simple, really easy. 1 month recovery time to be walking and 3 months to be playing like extreme sports. He said like pivoting sports. I just tell you that because like to give you a sense of like how simple this was supposed to be and how simple I was led to believe this was going to be. And then it clearly hasn't, because I'm here like 9-ish months later with problems and still talking about it. I have gone to get a second opinion from a very well-respected doctor at a very well-respected hospital, and that doctor took one look at me and the motion that I am not able to do with my knee. Here, let me walk back here. Okay, the motion I can't do. Oh, this is scary. I'm gonna go way back there and sit down because I can't do it while I'm standing. Hi. I can't do this. That's as far as I can get before I get excruciating pain in my knee. And so I showed him that, and then he was like, well, straighten your leg and do this motion. Can you do that? And I can do that even less than I can do this one. And you can tell I'm really walking very gingerly. One might say trepidatious. You know, it's all just feeling very precarious, and I have to be very careful, and that's not what I was sold for my surgery. And yeah, I'm supposed to be in better shape than I went into the surgery, and I'm in worse. Yeah, that's why I went in to see the second opinion. He took one look at me, and he says, I'm paralyzed. I have femoral neuropathy. My femoral nerve is paralyzed. And that happened because of the nerve block that they did for the surgery. He has ordered a nerve test to confirm that. But I asked him, I was like, so what if the nerve test comes back and it says that that's not the problem? And he said, it's going to. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind this is textbook, basically. The analogy that I use when I like explain it to people, like how certain he was and how obvious this was to him, is like if you and I see a bone sticking out of somebody's arm, we know that there's a broken bone. There's not really a question about it. It's obvious. And to him and his profession, it's that obvious. That brings many a question to mind, such as how have I seen multiple other doctors and physical therapists and everybody who have not seen this, who haven't thought it was that obvious and didn't recognize these symptoms. And you know, what now? So yeah, he has ordered a nerve test and that will confirm, but he doesn't really need it for confirmation purposes. He needs it for like judging how severe it is and whether there is any hope, basically. So the short version of what they're looking for and what they do is they basically stick an electrode in the top of the nerve, and then they go down the line of the nerve, and just like you would do on your house, they're testing to see how much electricity makes it through. So like if you have a cut wire or burnt wire or something in your house, you don't know where it is, you can go from outlet to outlet and figure out where it is, because at some point there's no electricity, and you know that there's a break between the place that you have electricity and the place that you don't have electricity. There can be anywhere from 100% of the current getting through to none. And essentially, if we're looking at a situation where no electricity is getting through, the outlook is very bleak. Other people, and I'm sure you'll have stories of like people saying, oh, I was told I would never walk again, and you know, I walked down the aisle at my wedding and that kind of stuff. And from my understanding so far, again, this isn't coming from a neurologist, but so far my understanding is for a femoral nerve, that's really not likely, because more or less elsewhere in the body, everywhere else in the body, there are tons of nerves, and they're all kind of interlaced, and so, you know, it might be one nerve that moves it mainly, but there's another nerve right there, and what the body will do is kind of like go in and substitute and like grow the one that's working into the place that doesn't work and just take it over. But unfortunately for me, the femoral nerve, it's like the only nerve in the area, and so the likeliness of another nerve coming in and taking its job is pretty slim. So I kind of realized I didn't explain to you what a femoral nerve is. So the femoral nerve is in the top of the hip where they did the nerve block, is like right here. Like I could tell the needle hole from after the surgery where they did it, and it controls your quad muscle. And those exercises I showed you are quad muscles. And so basically the doctor was shocked I'm able to walk without my quads, because they're very important, obviously. Your quads kind of like structurally hold your kneecap down, and your kneecap's kind of the thing that keeps your knee and your leg from buckling. So without your quad, your kneecap can't really do its job, and therefore your leg will buckle and you'll collapse. And that's why I've been on crutches until this last month, is because that's exactly what would happen, is that like my leg was just like unable to hold weight. It was just collapsing on me. So he thought the prognosis was pretty good, that there's probably some electrical current coming through, which meant that you know, there's some life and like scaffolding for nerves to come back and heal off of. They can't really heal from nothing, but if there's something there, then they can try and rebuild. And so he thinks that's pretty good. I'm not so sure. Like the appointment obviously was very quick, and like I know what I'm feeling, and I don't feel like there's much going on down there. You know, and he was basing that statement more or less off the fact that I'm walking, and I feel pretty confident that I'm walking via muscle substitution, which is like the word of the day at my physical therapy appointments, is that I've been substituting for all of my exercises, and we've been like really trying not to like it's like really hard to do these exercises and not substitute, especially now that I know like the muscle itself is paralyzed. It's not going to work. So it's not an option of like use the muscle or don't use the muscle. It's don't use the right muscle or fall down or like fail, basically. And like letting your body fail, like intentionally collapsing, is like surprisingly hard to do. Like I'm not going to recommend that you try to intentionally collapse, but like just take my word for it that it's not easy. So yeah, basically everything is on hold until June, which is the soonest that I can get into a nerve test. I'm not loving that I have to wait. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. And of course you guys will get an update in June when I find out what's going on and what the test actually says. I imagine the next statement that you guys are all thinking is, you know, time to lawyer up. That sounds like medical malpractice, that you're paralyzed and you shouldn't be. And I agree. The doctor even said that he thought that the femoral nerve block was no longer best practice for that surgery, and was surprised that they used it in the first place for the surgery that I had. So I started calling lawyers and like lawyer resources and stuff to get like advice on how I should proceed in case this is a lawsuit. And no one will take me. Yeah, I mean, you more or less sign your life away before these surgeries. Like, I read the document back and it says paralysis as basically an acceptable side effect. And so, yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna have a lawsuit out of this, even though I may have, like, a permanent disability, basically. The doctor said to get a cane, you know, apply for a disability placard so I don't have to walk as far to get into the stores. Stuff like that. So yeah, it's a big lifestyle change. Working on the projects that I am working on have been very difficult. You know, if anybody has been following along, you've probably heard me say I have like 2 projects now that have been in the works for a very long time. Both of them are getting progress done. My dad actually came down to help me, and we didn't finish either of the projects, but we got the stuff that was like more or less impossible for me to do in my current state done. And so I am now working very slowly and very carefully on the stuff that I can do. So yeah, I will have 2 videos coming out here soon. But in terms of an upload schedule and getting back to my like every other week schedule that I had before, I am pretty much gonna say like right off the bat that that's not gonna happen. I mean, I have this house and I need to fix it up, so I'm gonna still do projects, but I have to just take it as I have to take it a lot slower, and you know, work at a comfort level and a pace that I haven't yet determined. I haven't yet really established what that is and what that feels like yet, because just the simple act of walking is still so new to me. Obviously, all of this is super disappointing for a number of reasons. You know, like, am I ever going to be able to go backpacking again? Can I realistically travel in the van again? Like, you know, I just have to reset my expectations for life, probably. And at the flip side, it's like, I shouldn't really probably think that way at all until June, when I have the nerve test done. And so I'm just kind of caught in this, like, I don't know limbo that doesn't feel great. But, like, you know, what I'm sure you guys care about is the YouTube channel and everything. It's been, like, really hard to watch the subscribers leave, you know, and people commenting, oh, is this a dead channel? Where are you? Like, are you still doing stuff? You know, because I was just starting to get traction on this channel. And, you know, not like I ever think that I could make it a job or anything. I think, you know, that's kind of like a pipe dream, you know. I feel like you get about the same odds of that as being a rock star. But you never know. And obviously, you know, getting paid to live my life and work on my homestead would be amazing. That would be, you know, something that, if it happened, that would be awesome, and I wouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. I can't say it's the goal, and I'm still employed. I still have my full-time job, because, like, I don't get any money from this, especially without having uploaded. Where's the jet? There's a fighter jet somewhere. Oh, coyote! Wow! That's crazy that you guys caught that. What are the odds that I'm filming right as he comes by? No, you don't stay here. Go on. He stopped and looked at me. I'm like, no, you're not a doggy. You don't get to stay here. Yeah, that's crazy. That I'm sitting here talking out loud, being loud, and he's still that close and was like, I mean, he had a hustle on, but he was more or less unbothered. Also, would I have even noticed it until I was editing if I wasn't looking for the fighter jet? That's nuts. I've just been putting water in the bottle itself and, like, shaking it up to get the last of the paint out of it. I'm gonna need a second bottle, but I was totally right to water it. Like, that's, if you're gonna do something like this, water it down. Because it needs to, like, run down into the bristles to get coverage. Anyways, I don't remember what I was saying before the jet and then the coyote happened. Like, the moral of the story is, if you're still watching and you're still, like, invested in me and the homestead and everything, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Things will hopefully pick up again. I'm planning and I'm trying to do things, and I am doing things behind the scenes. The videos that are going to come out are really big videos. It's not like you're gonna get a little video as a reward for the wait. All right, well, that's all she wrote. I'm out. I guess we will see. I'll give you the reveal when I get another bottle of paint here. You know, if you've stuck around all this time, if you're still watching, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Know that really exciting things are happening and are coming, but beyond those things, I don't know. I don't know for myself, and therefore I can't tell you guys. So yeah, it's kind of hard for me to give the normal like and subscribe spiel, but you know, I do have those 2 exciting projects coming up. So if you want to see them, you want to get notified when they're out, because I don't know when they're going to be out, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. You guys know the drill. But yeah, I would just recommend doing that, or follow me on Instagram because I'll share it there. But yeah, I don't know when they're going to come out, so I can't tell you. For you guys to be keeping an eye out on it. Could be next week, could be 2 weeks from now, could be a month from now. I don't know. I just have to take things at my own pace these days. So yeah, if you haven't already, leave a comment on what you think this project is a spoiler for, what it symbolizes, what the bigger project it's related to is. And see you guys in the next video. Bye.